So hi, I'm Carl from Stary Boards, and today I would just like to give you guys an update on how we're doing with the motor. Not really an update, just sort of a timeline of where we've been. We're blessed to have some of the best engineers in their field. You know, we've had engineers who've worked on submarines and 3D printers, etc., etc., and they've poured their heart and soul into making the heart of what makes our boards great, which is the motor. And I'd love to share with you guys the iterations we've gone through, and hopefully we answer some of your questions along the way. So, so the first iteration that we did was well, of course, this is the very first prototype. It was made with actually bike chains, and we were going for sort of the belt-driven motor that sort of companies such as Boosted used. So this was the very first prototype, and then we moved on to a leather belt, and this is almost exactly what Boosted boards used. But we felt that the wear and tear of the belts compromise the longevity of our motors, and of course, you know, going into the shop for repairs is, you know, not my idea of a good Sunday afternoon. So of course our engineers worked hard to actually integrate the motor into the wheel, and this is what we have. And after we've integrated the motor into the wheel, we can see here we found several problems with this design. One of which is that it didn't offer enough torque, and we can see here that if I just spin up the motor, it will sort of jump between several positions, and this is what actually happens if you go onto the board and without kicking try to start it. And so this is something that we thought was a major problem, and through a lot of iterations, we actually even tried brushed motors, and the brushed motors didn't offer enough torque either, and actually the brushed motors have a lot of wear and tear, and this maintenance was something we didn't want the users to have. And so what we've come up with is actually to integrate a planetary gear into the motor of our skateboards, and this was the best solution, as it actually offers 3 times the torque while sacrificing some speed, but our speeds are great enough to be adrenaline inducing for anybody. Don't worry about that. So we've integrated the planetary gear into the motor, which solved a lot of our problems, and we thought that this was a good design. But as you can see, this is sort of the bulkiest wheel you've ever seen on Earth. So of course, our engineers, being the best engineers on the planet, decided to fine-tune the product, adjusting the components, and we have sort of what we have here, which is a more refined version of the wheel with planetary gears, and I think this is the perfect size for a skateboard. And of course we have here, this is sort of like almost the final product. Our engineers are going to work a little bit harder on this, but you can see this is almost the final result of the culmination of our works, and it runs extremely smoothly, and we'll start without a problem. And so a question that we did have for you guys is, we're looking at the axle here, and we've got 2 designs for sort of the ends of the axles. One actually acts like a mini heat sink and reduces the heat that is generated by the wheel. So we were wondering which one you guys like better, this design or this one. Leave a comment, email us, message us, however you want to do this. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I hope we answered some of your questions.